you're listening to the replay. Look, do you ever find yourself in a position where you are looking at the journey ahead of you and you've got a big goal and you are wondering if you will ever get there? Because if you are, then this is for you. This message today is for you. I want to quickly introduce myself if you are joining for the first time, if you don't know me. My name is Taryn Thompson. I've been on my own health journey. I've lost 28 kilos, and so over the last 6 years, I've really spent quite a lot of effort and dedicated myself to helping people achieve their ideal body. There are 2 areas that I really specialize in, and they are health coaching and hormone health. So in today's topic, I really wanted to focus on this big journey, all right? If you are someone that has a really big journey and you have a big goal ahead of you and you sometimes find yourself sabotaging the whole journey, all right? If you sometimes find yourself so worried that you'll fail that you end up sabotaging the achievement of those goals, then today I really want to encourage you by helping you to figure out what it is that you need to be focusing on, because that was me for a really, really long time. I wondered if I would ever get there. You may have more weight to lose than I did, and you may have less weight to lose than I did, but sometimes just when you're looking up ahead, the road can look long and it can look big wherever you are, and you do need to make sure that you are not focusing on the weight loss, okay? It's really, really important. When you focus on weight loss, it's not really something that you have much control over. But what you do have control over is the process, and you do have control over your behaviors. So when you focus on your behaviors, then the outcomes just follow, right? The outcomes just happen. It's just when you focus on results, it's not something that you can control, but you can control your habits. Right, so those are the things that you really need to focus on. So today, I wanted to give you 2 things that really, really helped me, and it's something that I have implemented into a 12-week course that I help my clients with, that I help my group coaching clients with, and it was super helpful for me, and it goes a long way when it comes to your habits, okay? Because it really does help with the mindset. So here's the first one. Eating within 30 minutes of waking up, maximum an hour. That's the first one. Eating within 30 minutes of waking up, maximum of an hour, and not eating 2 hours before you go to bed. All right? Now, here's the method behind this madness. Making sure that you bookend both parts of the day, all right? So the beginning of the day and the end of the day. You really can control the behaviors around the first thing you do in the day and setting up your evening, all right? You really can control your behaviors around those 2 things. In the middle of the day, sometimes work can be crazy, kids can be crazy, husbands and wives can be crazy, but you can do something about your behavior at the very beginning of the day and at the end of the day. And what that does is it helps set you up for the day ahead, all right? So when you make sure that you have a hard and fast rule where you eat within 30 minutes of waking up, maximum an hour, then that means you have had to have had breakfast and a meal prepared first thing. All right, you have had to have done that if you have drawn a line in the sand about having that as one of the behaviors that you're going to focus on. At the other end of the day, making sure that you don't eat 2 hours before going to bed, this is bookending the end of your day. And if you know that needs to happen, then you're going to make sure that your meals are prepared at the end of the day, right? When you make sure that you've got dinner at the end of the day sorted, that you don't just wait for the end of the day to creep up on you before you know it's 9 o'clock and you've only just finished cooking tea. It's behaviors like that we can sometimes let just happen to us, but it is something that if we create a behavior around, really does affect your results and affect your outcomes, all right? So bookend the beginning and the end of the day, and for, a million other reasons physically, your body will start to show results as a result of those 2 behaviors, right? So focus on the habits in those two areas. The second one is the frequency in which you eat. Now, one of the things that I would find with me is I've got 3 brothers. Okay, so when I look at the way that I grew up as a kid and as a teenager, I had 3 brothers and I'm the only girl. Now, in my house, if you didn't eat fast, you didn't eat. All right, there was no, and forget about it if you wanted seconds when you have 3 boys in the house and you're the only girl. All right, so I learned to eat real quick, and because of that, it created this fear around there not being enough. All right, I had this fear around there not being enough food, and so what I have seen is that that's quite a common fear when you and it presents itself in a couple of different ways. But how it may be presenting itself for you is that when you don't have food prepared and you get to your next meal, all right, and you've had a super busy day at work, you look at the time, you realize, far out, I haven't eaten in like 5 hours, right? Or I haven't eaten since this morning and it's the afternoon. What will happen is that your body will go into a state of panic, and you produce quite a lot of stress hormones. Now, stress hormones are not ideal for fat burning. They will do the opposite to what you want them to do. But the type of emotions that is going to trigger in you is there not being enough, needing to eat really quickly, not thinking about what it is that you're going to eat, and you really are thinking with your stomach, not with your head. Okay, so the next habit that I want you to focus on is the frequency in which you eat, and I recommend that you plan to eat every 2.5 to 3.5 hours maximum. Okay, 2.5 minimum, 3.5 maximum. If you plan to eat every 2.5 to 3.5 hours, then what that means is that you're going to have food there available for you, all right? So that if you do need to stop and eat because you've had a super busy day, you've got something there for you to keep your blood sugars under control, to manage those blood sugars so they don't drop, so that you don't start producing a lot of stress hormone, so that you don't start making decisions with your tummy and not your head. Okay, so that's the second habit. If you can focus on those 2 habits, it really will make a difference. What I know about habits is that if you are focusing on enough of them over a period of time, if you focus on lots of little small things, it's that accumulation of small thing on top of small thing on top of small thing that over time turns into a big thing. And that's really how I addressed getting 28 kilos down. Okay, it was a really big journey for me, and I remember looking at it and feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if this is possible for me. And sometimes people look at me and they think, she could do it because of this, and this reason, right? Or she could do it because she's just lucky and that's just the way that she is. And that's just simply not true, right? In fact, I sometimes feel a little bit resentful when people say that to me, especially when they mention the word luck, because of how much work that I had to put in around my behaviors, all right? Behaviors and habits are something that you can control, but weight loss is something that you don't have a lot of control over. So that's the message for today. One last thing that I wanted to finish off with is that if failure is something that you are really concerned about, if you really question yourself and question your ability, then make sure that you wipe the slate clean after every day. Super important that you do that, especially when your behavior is something that you are really wanting to hone in on, something that you really want to focus on. Wipe the slate clean at the end of every day, all right? Because tomorrow is a new day, and there is always another day that is going to follow. And so look at what you can do in that 24 or in that 12-hour period. Look at what you can do with your behavior, and then look at what you've learned that day, what you did. Focus on one thing that you did really well that day, and then wipe the slate clean at the end of the day, because tomorrow is a new one. The only thing that can actually cause you to fail is for you to not do that and then not jump back up when you fall down. All right, that's it. That's the only difference between people who succeed and people who fail at this, is that they fail to see what it is that they do well, they fail to focus on their behaviors, and they don't get up when they fall down. That is the only difference. So that's the message for today. I really hope you got some value from that. I just wanted to let you know that if you are really getting good value from these messages that I do daily, and for those of you who are new, I do them Monday to Thursday at 8 a.m. That's New Zealand time. Then come September, I'm actually going to be starting in my new group coaching course. All right, so it's going to be a 12-week course, and in that, what we're going to do is be focusing on a lot of these things. Remember, I specialize in hormones and health coaching, and so the course is really made up of those two things: coaching for the mindset, and hormones as some of the education that you'll need. So if you are interested in going through the 12-week course in a group coaching environment, then look out for that, because I'm going to be starting it in September. So that's the message for today, guys. You can, if there's anything you need to know, or you want to ask me, or if you want to reach out to me personally, you can contact me through my website. It's generationhealth.co.nz. That's www.generationhealth.co.nz. If you ever want to share these messages, the way you do that on Periscope is by swiping up or swiping to the right. Okay, that's it. See you tomorrow morning bright and early at 8 a.m. Have a fantastic day.